Doing really
Pretty
good.
pretty good.
Couldn't be better. Oh yeah.
Thank God I just
Notice that. Okay, so I will have to cut out all of that. So fantastic. Let's redo that. So we are just coming back from a good weekend of Beyblades here in Minnesota. It was a 3-on-3 battle. It was brought to my attention that last episode we did say 2v2, which that was to my understanding, so that was all my bad. So it was a strictly 3v3, and actually my team took second place, and it was a great turnout. It was so much fun. Vile, a judge, and then Chad was also another competitor of that as well. So
Yep.
unfortunately, Martine was unable to be there this week, but hopefully we can see him at the next one. But Vile, being the judge for this one versus doing a single person, what which one did you kind of like to judge a little bit more?
Well, that's kind of a loaded question, right? Because I think the team tournaments are a lot more fun and interesting, but at the same time, I also understand that there's a little more crowd noise in the team tournaments than there would be in the singles. So I don't know. I think they're both fun in their own way. I don't think there's one that's like clear cut above the other. I think judging the standard one-on-one events is easier, and I think the team events just have a little more fun and energy to them.
Yeah,
That's fair.
yeah, this was my first team battle, actually official tournament. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, it was my first team tournament, but obviously, as we've mentioned in a few of the other podcasts, I've been to a couple other tournaments already.
Yeah, yeah, we've all been a part of tournaments and everything, but this is the first, to my knowledge, of a team battle tournament in Minnesota, at least for X.
Oh,
Which,
100%.
yeah, which there were a lot of people that liked it. There were a lot more people that did not really care for it. It was different though. So give it what it is, what it is. It was
So you
interesting.
thought you thought people didn't care for it. Can I ask you what you'd heard about that?
Yeah, just because people, I think most people didn't really care for it because the teammates were all randomized. I think if they were able to pick their own individual teammates, that would have been a whole different story, a whole different tournament, and everything else like that. So,
Uh,
yeah.
yes and no. I mean, obviously, yes, it would be very different, but the problem then falls into the all you have to do is get all the best Beybladers from all the previous tournaments onto one team, and how do you lose?
Well, and that falls into we actually had one of those. We had three really good bladers on the same team.
You must be talking about Egg Salad's team, huh?
Egg Salad's team, yeah.
Yeah.
Because Egg's like a very like well-known accomplished blader in the
Hmm.
community, as well as being a pretty prominent vendor that people are aware of. And then he had teamed up with Slushy, who I believe had actually won the event at the library just the previous week.
Yep, and then he won
And
the other one, the one that I took second place. He was the first place, so he's he's a great blader as well. And Battleship, I think, was the third guy, if I'm not
yes,
mistaken.
yeah, and
Yes,
Battleship, I don't know if he's won any events, but I know he's done well. He usually makes top cut. He definitely has gone 5-0 in Swiss.
yeah,
I even told them, to your point, I even told them before the event started, I'm like, If there was betting on this, I'd be betting on you guys.
Yep.
But ironically enough, they did not do particularly well in this event.
They did not do well at all. And like you said, they are all great bladers. Egg Salad, he's won tournaments. Slushy has topped. To my knowledge, Battleship has at least made top 4 in a couple tournaments. So overall, they're great bladers. I don't know if it was just the team ups or what was going on with them, but I guess there was another team battle back in April, but I wasn't here for that, so I had not a clue.
So what I would tell you about the teams and like, so I think it was Chad, but it could have been somebody else. So excuse me if I got the name wrong here, but somebody had just said, well, what would stop all the best bladers from the previous tournaments from teaming up? And there's a
That was
couple
me.
things.
Yeah.
There's a couple things with that, right? First off, I do think that people want to play with their friends. You know, Chad, you could definitely put together a team of top bladers that have done well at previous events. But I also think if you went to a team tournament tomorrow, you'd want to team up with your buddy. And I don't remember his name, but you know who I'm talking about.
Yes.
AJ, yes. And I mean, if he's there, I would team up with him probably just in order to help him get some wins under his belt. But if it were just me, unironically, I would probably team up with you guys so we could call ourselves Team Podcast.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. I love it. So my point is, and I don't know, you know, I know Cake has done well. I'm not real sure of Martine's results. I'm sure he played some events before I was aware that there are even events going on. But like I've never played in a tournament. So teaming up with me wouldn't necessarily be advantageous, but you just said that you would like to do it regardless. So that's point one is I do think people want to play with people that they're comfortable with and they're friends with. Part two is I don't know, like obviously skill matters, right? Like I'm not trying to discount anyone's player skill or that there is a difference between the top blader and the worst blader, like there is. But I do think with this team tournament and how teams wound up finishing up, you know, and how they placed, it wasn't just about the skill of the individual blader. Part of it is about working together as a team. And I did see several teams that were just getting skunked by Wizard Rods and Silver Wolves because nobody on their team wanted to step up and run Cobalt Dragoon Elevate.
Yeah.
Like that was a very real thing. And that's part of being on a team is selflessness. Yes, I would love to run Samurai Caliber. That's currently my favorite bay at the moment. But if my teammates were running 2 very strong bays and we needed a Cobalt Dragoon, I would just switch. Some people don't want to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, and I guess this is the third team battle in Minnesota, but it was the first of its kind of being randomized teams, which is different. I like the creativity. I like the being different and everything, but I guess for the people in chat, which we can read later on, did you guys hear about any gripes or anything that people did not really care for the randomized tournament versus just a normal team battle? Because I know there are quite a bit of teams out there right now that are like kind of trying to make their names out there, which is very cool.
If I could add to the team thing,
Yeah, go for it.
I feel like with it being random, cool, sure, but then it's like I feel like if you do get all the good bladers together on the same team, like you know, they're just gonna metagame more than the other people, you know, and then they'll
Right.
go Wizard Rod, Cobalt, or something, or go like
Yeah,
over Wyvern.
there's
You know what I
nothing
mean?
really stopping them from going Wizard, Cobalt, Silver Wolf, and making sure each person is using the proper like meta setup.
Mm-hmm.
And like you don't see a lot of Dragoons anymore because it's like because ever since Shark came out, it's like there's a shift now. But it's like I feel like the new deck right now, and it's hard because if you go Shark, Dragoon, Rod, then it's like, well, your Dragoon could be Arrow or your Dragoon could be Phoenix. I feel like if Dragoon keeps getting phased out, then all the stamina decks are gonna be more viable.
Yeah. But then,
And I just think Shark Scale has a good matchup against Cobalt Dragoon, to be
Yeah.
totally frank.
honestly,
Oh,
speaking about
100%.
talk about Shark Scale. It's actually being played right on the screen as we speak, which is kind of ironic. But yeah, like the randomized teams, which is cool. But one of the teams that was actually assembled were just straight kids. So they got all walked on. One of the kids was running Terreno Beat. I think the other like Wizard Rod something, and I can't remember what the third kid was running. Like or Wand Wizard. No. What's the other wizard?
Arrow Wizard?
Arrow Wizard. Yes.
Arrow Wizard.
Oh God, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, like those. Like I give them credit. They hung out. They stayed by. They had like their heads tilted high literally the whole time. But I think they just got all walked on during the whole tournament, which was not fair whatsoever. I had a kid on my team, and he was a cool ass kid, absolutely solid dude. But having a full team of straight kids versus like 90% of just grown adults kind of was completely unfair on their end.
Yes.
And maybe if we're going to continue to do random team events, and listen, maybe we don't, right? I know this was more about the pizza party and like a community get together than it was. I mean, we all remember the prizing was not based on placement; it was all door prizing. It was random draw prizing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this was more
Exactly.
about having fun and hanging out. But if we were going to do something like this again in the future, and I were the one organizing it, I might set it up where we try to make sure that there's only one kid per team and that there's not a team full of 3 kids,
Yeah. Yeah.
There has to be some kind of way to like separate the pools of like children and adults and try to make sure that there's at least it's never going to be perfect, right?
No,
But
absolutely
not have
not.
a team of 3 10-year-olds and then have other teams that are 3 very accomplished adult players, right? So it's interesting. The other thing I'll say when it comes to the team aspect of it and why random is different than like constructed teams is that when you have a constructed team that you put together yourself, not only can you pick players for skill or even just like compatibility and friendship and like working well with each other, but also based on what they have access to, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I'm on a team with you guys and someone says, "Hey, I really want to run Aero Pegasus, but I don't have it," I'm probably willing to let one of you guys borrow my Aero Pegasus for the day. What I'm not going to do is let some random person I was assigned to use my Aero Pegasus for the day.
That's also very true.
Yeah, that is a great point. And
and especially that team with 3 kids, like you have to imagine none of those kids had shark scale. Like they just did,
no shot. They don't have adult
No.
money like we do.
They don't make bands.
So it's just one of those situations where beyond just player skill, there's also working well together, players being willing to be selfless and play things that they may not want to, but that will benefit the team. But also, what does that particular team have access to? And are players on that team even sort of familiar with each other enough where they would allow a teammate to borrow something?
Yeah. And then
Exactly.
then
I actually have a great example of this from that get together because one of my teammates were Jake, and then the other one goes by Unknown NPC. Jake already had a really good setup. Unknown NPC had a lot of stuff that was just like not great, with his best Beyblade being a Cobalt Dragoon 560 Elevate, but at the time his 560 was broken and I didn't have a spare, so I let him borrow my Tyranno until he could get a spare 560.
oh, if you needed one, you
And
could have just
then,
asked
like,
me. I had you.
oh well,
Uh,
I didn't want to. I didn't know that, but
Oh,
so I
yeah,
just
I
let
always
him
carry
borrow
all my
my
parts.
Tyranno. That's fair. But yeah,
No,
no.
but it
Near
makes
the
sense
end
from
of it,
chat
we were
perspective.
able to get that. we were able to get that part for him, so he was able to actually use his Dragoon right near the end of the tournament, and that's, I think, part of why we were able to get that. One of our couple of wins that we got was because he had Dragoon, and it was actually putting in a lot of work.
Which is fair, but then, yeah.
You know what I would love to see actually, and it doesn't have to be us that does it, but it could just be anybody in the community. I would love to see like a buying guide, like a where to start for like new players or younger players who maybe don't have the TT, Arrow, Pegasus, Cobalt, Drake, Valkyrie Volt type of money, but like what can you buy today here in America at Target, Walmart, or GameStop that you should definitely have when you're starting out so you can at least have some competitive stuff to work with. And we don't see people running Arrow Wizard at tournaments, you know?
Honestly,
I
we could,
think
yeah, we could definitely
we
talk
can
about that
do
next.
That's
that.
pretty simple.
I think we could do that if we had it like covered and prepared, or that's something that maybe like I don't know how you guys feel about it, but I was like, what if we like on the side started making videos too?
We
Like
could.
if y'all want to do like where we just meet up and we do like battle videos, stuff like that, like more kind of like vlog based stuff while
Yeah.
still doing the podcast, you know, like kind of integrate it as we go and kind of be like, oh, well, we have an idea, but maybe it wouldn't be so good for like a podcast, but if we could make it into a video and it's like easier to digest, you know, and then we could add like visuals to it.
Oh yeah,
So
I'm down for that.
So I guess Sam, he is, for those who do not know, he is one of our main organizers. I'd personally say he's one of our main. I guess he has a buyer's guide, which is very cool. Maybe I can try to get my hands on one of those, and we could talk about that in a next episode or something.
That works.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I would like that, and I think it would be good because I think there are a lot of people who just get into the game and listen. When I got into the game a few months back, I just bought everything.
Yep.
Okay, if it was
Same.
in front of me, I bought it. But not everyone has money like that, kids or adults. You know.
Yeah.
And it's helpful to know. Oh, I go to Walmart and I see Arrow Wizard and I see, Shinobi and I see Dran Sword. Like, yeah, but I shouldn't be buying those. I actually need to be looking for that tide whale that's hiding on the back of one of the pegs, right? Like,
Yeah, that's a fair point.
help people understand, like, because it is overwhelming. Even in Hasbro now, they've been dumping out a lot of new releases lately. It's tough for new players to understand. If I want to go to an event next week and I want to, just have a chance to not go 0-5, what do I need to pick up that's not going to cost me an arm and a leg?
Right.
Yeah.
So someone up in chat kind of has a good idea. Learn to play events. So I guess they are a lot more viable and realistic for a con event, not a scheduled event at a store.
Oh, I get it. So kind of like more of a anyone who wants to learn the basics, come to this event and we'll help teach you.
Honestly, that's not a
Yes.
really bad idea. I like that.
No, I love that because there are a lot of people of different ages, both like children and adults, who are just getting into this and could use the technical skill and assistance, especially with launching. Because, like, my friend AJ and his partner Robin, like, recently, they were confident enough to learn themselves the more advanced launching techniques, like the reverse dashes and stuff like that. But I had to make sure I built up the foundation first. Like I needed them to get comfortable with just launching flat and launching at an angle first before we started going into, the more difficult to learn launch techniques and learning how to aim properly depending on what Beyblade you're going against and, counter picking launches.
Yeah, and then like bit types and ratchet types and how to tell the difference between them. Honestly, that is a great idea. So we will definitely have to try to get a hold of any of the, like, really just the community that would like to kind of put that on for any newer player or even any veteran player that would like to just kind of come out and give tips and advice or anything.
I can tell you that I have friends in different types of communities who do run like learn to play events for whatever game they are involved with
Mhm.
at local cons, and they actually get quite a few new players coming out from those types of events. So I do think that's actually a great idea. I think it's a very stellar idea.
Yeah, because we have a Twin City Con that's coming up. Is that next month or November? It's one of the two. So I bet we can. It might be too late for this year, but definitely keep our eyes on like conventions or yeah, conventions would be just a good opportunity to. Because some people
I
don't.
mean, really,
People don't even know that Beyblades are still a thing.
I agree. And really any type of convention like that involve like any type of gaming convention or another really good one where I'm sure there's a lot of crossover would be like an anime convention, like
I
Anime
feel like
Detour.
an anime convention, like a kind of like a collectibles convention, stuff like that. I mean, there's people that still don't even know Pokemon's still a thing, so I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't know Beyblade's a thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe even
Yeah.
like a tabletop, because I know tabletops have. Is this considered like a tabletop game per se?
Yes and no.
Yeah, I know it's kind of like that gray area because yeah, you can play it on a tabletop, but it's not like
It's
Risk or
it's kind of like
Warhammer.
a tabletop, kind of like a maybe you can get people that are like into board games into it too, because I'm definitely trying to get my friends into it, and then we had like a get together this weekend, and we were just supposed to play board games, but I brought my Beyblades, and then we ended up just doing that for like 2 hours, and then we did our own tournament.
That's what's
And
up.
It,
so I had an idea for a tournament, but I guess it's like you need more parts. But what if we did a randomized Beyblade tournament where you can't choose your Beyblades, right? Kind of like a draft, okay? So you bring you out of like the pieces I had, right? I was telling them because I was like, you guys know nothing about Beyblade, nothing about building, right? So I was like, each of you guys make 3 Beyblades, and then I was like, you can't pick from the row that you built. You could only pick Beyblades that other people built. And then, but the same blade, the same part rule doesn't apply because obviously it's going to be kind of random. So then they were having fun with that, and then we were just like, oh, I lost because of this one, and I'm like, oh, well, who made that one? And I'm like, oh, I made that one. Yeah, I made that one purposely to suck.
So you make you want to do a tournament that you
Right.
make your opponent's deck.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's wild.
so a couple things. The first thing I'll say about that is real quick before we totally move on to this new topic. There had been a question about is this a tabletop game or not? And when it comes to like would it be good to have a demo of Beyblade at a tabletop or trading card game event? The easiest thing to ask is, guys, there's 4 of us here. How many of us have played board games before?
Yes.
Everyone, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And then how many of us here have played a trading card game before? Is that also everyone?
I think that's everybody.
Yep.
So the crossover is 100% there, like 100%. Now, not all bladers, maybe, trading card gamers, not all trading card gamers are going to be Beybladers, but the crossover is pretty significant. As to Martine's point, I actually think that's a super cool idea for a tournament. And I saw a video recently about a venue in California that hadn't done the exact same thing, but it was very, very similar. My only concern with something like that from a functional perspective would be where are the parts all coming from? And obviously some people are not going to like the idea of other people using their stuff, right?
That is
Yeah, 100%.
like
100%.
I understand where you're coming from with that one, Vile, but coming from an opponent's side, I'm definitely not going to be using a Dragoon or Drake or anything that's super really good. It's going to be something that I can easily find, like a Rhino or Shadow Shinobi or something that I even have doubles of.
And that's totally fair. And I didn't think anyone was going to put their Elevate bid on the line for something like this. Like that. My concern is more anytime you ask somebody to hand over their own personal possessions to other people that they may or may not know very well, and then hope that all 24 or 36 competitors are going to make sure that those things get back to their original owners at the end of the event, you're asking a lot.
Yes. And that kind of
whereas like when Martine did this, he was just doing it with his own personal stuff and his own personal friends, which is very different from doing it in an official tournament capacity with, let's say, 36 random people. You know?
Right.
Yeah. If anything, Acuna actually brought up during that tournament something that might help for future tournaments, which is starting a more limited list for like. I think he had mentioned he's going to do a tournament where quite a few of the more like meta heavy combos and meta heavy Beyblades will be banned, so your choice of Beyblades will be very limited as to their actual viability, but it forces you to like really dig deep into your Beyblade reservoirs and find something good.
In a similar capacity, I've also seen that in the next couple months here at some point, it seems like Sam wants to run a limited event, like a stock combo event.
Yeah.
And that could also be cool. Really just like, listen, everyone knows that, Wizard Rod is good, Silver Wolf is good, Shark Scale is good. Sometimes it would be cool to just see what people decide to bring or come up with when they are just not able to just clutch or not crutch on the meta just the whole time.
So like an anti-meta tournament.
Yeah.
And not that could be every event, and not that those would even necessarily be ranked events, but just like not every, like, personally, I don't give a shit. And maybe this will sound harsh, and maybe I shouldn't use the word shit on the podcast, but I don't give a crap about what my WBO ranking is. Like, WBO isn't going to send me $1,000 care package like Elena Bay just got because I do well at some local events. Okay. Like, I just want to play the game. And sometimes playing the game not with Wizard Rod and Silver Wolf over and over and over again can be a little bit more fun. And that's just my personal opinion.
Yeah. So Wayward says limited is the answer to people who don't like meta. And then limited is fun. I would host it again sometime. And I guess people are really enjoying the limited tournament. So kind of by the sounds of it, it might be happening sooner than later, at least in Minnesota for tournament wise.
Yeah.
I just love it because, like, and it's not that I hate the meta, okay? I think Shark Scale is super meta right now. I think Hover Wyvern is super meta right now. And I think those are very exciting bays. Same with Phoenix. When Phoenix was top dog, Arrow Pegasus. Those are exciting bays. What's not exciting is Wizard Rod versus Silver Wolf all day long.
Right.
That is just some of the most boring gameplay ever.
Which is fair.
Yeah. So would limited just be what's meta right now, or would that be considered?
No. So limited would. He had talked to me kind of how the list would go, and what's interesting is it would be no CX blades at all. UX blades would be heavily limited, if I'm remembering correctly. I know he mentioned CX.
It just
absolutely
would be
banned.
everything from the BX line, pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah,
so that'd be interesting for sure.
Yeah, like everything like from Shark Scale to like Incendio, stuff like that. Like the really, I mean, the stuff.
I think we're getting the ban list in the chat here. Hold on.
Let me see. Like
who
the
sent
stuff
it to...
that weighs like less than.
Oh, Acuna sent it.
Let's see.
Acuna's going to send it. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
I think they're just copy pasting everything.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it's anything less than 35 grams, something like that.
Yeah, I know that was in the
that's
talks
right. Weight
too.
had something to do with it too.
And also, I guess there was a survey done. So, for people like you, Vile, there are people that actually do care about their WBO ranking. Like I can only speak. I guess Vile, what do you got to say about that?
Well, first off, everyone's entitled to care about what they want to care about, right? Like
Right.
I am not, I'm not the moderator. I'm not the Jesus of what people should care about, right? Like everyone should enjoy what they
I mean,
enjoy
you
and
could
should
be.
care
You
about
kind
what
of
they
look
care
like
about in
one.
life. Oh my
All
God.
right, there it is.
I'm done. But really, like for me, it doesn't matter. It doesn't mean it doesn't matter to other people. But I guess my question is if your WBO ranking is, if the reason you care about it is bragging rights, that's great and that you're entitled to that. And some people thrive off of stuff like that. I personally just don't, right? And to me, every single event could be unranked and I couldn't care less. And I guess my reasoning is if people want to know if I'm a good blader or not, they can come to a tournament and they can find out. Okay. And if I'm not playing in that tournament, they can ask if I'll play some games afterwards or beforehand, and I will. Um,
Yeah,
and as
absolutely.
far as like national exposure, I don't
Yeah.
care if some random person in Missouri knows my name. I'm probably never gonna meet them. They probably will never meet me. And I couldn't care less what people in Texas or Missouri or California think about my WBO ranking. It's just not
Yeah,
important.
it's more of like a vanity thing. Like I like seeing the local one because I saw it was like 50, but I don't have a lot of history. It's all just keeping track of the history of how we've been doing, which is good.
Yeah.
Like I like looking at it like it's a stat tracker, but like I don't really care because I know
Yeah.
I don't attend a lot of them. Like it's like more vanity
Yeah,
than anything.
and also,
It's very interesting.
yeah, like what he just said, man. Like he personally doesn't care, but we all know there are people out there that do care about their WBO ranking. It's kind of like the same thing as like video game rankings. Like if you play competitive, like Call of Duty or Overwatch or anything else like that,
Yeah.
obviously some people really care about, like, they want to be top tier, the top 250 or whatever. But then there are people like Vile that just go there, have fun, and at the end of the day, it's basically just a number.
So I agree with you. And what I will say in like reference to like ranked like rankings on Call of Duty or on Overwatch or what's the new one, Marvel Rivals, I think
Oh
everyone's
yeah,
into right
yeah,
now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of stuff is cool, but I think that there's a key difference between that and Beyblade, right? And the difference is that Marvel Rivals is somewhat equalized, right? Like on Marvel Rivals, my understanding is you can only play ranked against people on the same platform as you. So you can't like be a PC player and play ranked against console
um,
players. The cross play on that, I believe, is only quick play. You can't cross play ranked, from my understanding,
oh,
right?
that
So
okay.
Uh,
I want to say
Right.
you're
So
wrong, but
there
I
is no skill rating in Beyblade. So like it's like we are all on the same like level of footing, level of play in a sense we all can be considered the same rank, right?
mhm.
So there is no the only thing like there's no skill expression besides just you being first or second because maybe one day of the tournament you had a good run with like the meta deck versus someone that maybe went third but maybe they didn't even use any meta, you know. I would like to see like the statistics on that like be expanded and maybe show like more stats on like what the blader is using to win, like how like the point system, how that goes. I wonder how they like
yeah.
calculate that, or if it's just like how much points they got, or maybe Akuna knows how that works. Like, if is it based off overall win percentage, or is it points that you're getting, or is it average points? Like, what determines you being first, second, third on that list for like the rankings?
Yeah, it's definitely a really good question, but might need to
so
give
Yeah.
it some time
so
so he can actually answer.
so Cake, I went ahead and looked, and ranked for Marvel Rivals is separated.
Oh, is it?
PC
Okay.
is separate from console.
Okay.
Yeah, like I double checked just now. But the reason I was bringing that up is okay, so you're playing Marvel Rivals, right? You're playing on PS5. Your opponent might be playing on Xbox. Those are both consoles. Those are both new consoles. They have essentially the same processing power. They're both going to be capped at the same frame rate. You're using the same or similar controllers. Neither of the controllers has like special extra bonus functions that make gameplay unfair. Um, Beyblade's a little different. The other thing is that people can play Marvel Rivals whenever they want, right? We can go play. We could be playing Marvel Rivals right now. We can play it tomorrow. We can play it next week. WBO rankings are hard for me because players in California have a totally different experience than players here do, and trying to compare them directly, they're not doing the same thing. Players in California probably have access to maybe even 3 to 4 times the amount of events that we do.
Mhm.
It's a totally different thing. I don't think that players here in Minnesota are necessarily on equal footing when it comes to the qualifiers for WBO rankings, like what goes into your ranking. I don't think we're on an even playing field with players in places like New York City or California, where the amount of events they can attend is much higher.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So basically, to answer Martine's question for those who have not seen it, for ranking wise, it is on a ELO system. Locally, it is a point accumulation system.
Which makes sense.
Yeah.
Because obviously, what should really affect your score is not, oh, how many tournaments did I win, but more so how many points did I win at my tournament.
Yeah, and
Oh
I
yeah, because
know.
how many tournaments you win is based largely not. I mean, it can be based on your skill, right? If you win a tournament, you're probably not a terrible player, right? But
Yeah.
there's a difference between, let's just say Wayward, who I think has attended pretty much every single event in Minnesota this year,
I wanna
and
say, yeah.
let's just say Chad, who just has not. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
Wayward's just going to have more opportunities for tournament wins. I think what you want to look at is points points per tournament on average. Like the amount of points you've earned overall divided by the amount of tournaments you're in. That gives you a better idea of where you actually stand as a blader.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, average. Yeah, usually it's the average that you kind of want to like, because you could have a good tournament where you just get like theoretically, right? Like you can get straight 5-0s, like, and that deficit would be like insane.
Yeah, everyone has your good days, everyone has bad days. Like even professionals. Professionals of anything, any sports or video game players or anything else like that. Even the top tier players have off days. So basically, long story short, get your asses to tournaments and just have some fun.
Yeah, I mean that's it. You're not lying, bro.
Yeah.
Everyone has bad days.
Yeah. So personally, I like to kind of backtrack to where we initially started, like the differences between team battles and solos. If it was an actual team battle, like you picked your own teams, whoever it is, it could be all 4 of us on a team, all 3 of us on a team, or whatever, versus just you solo. Which one would you guys pick?
I personally still like doing solo, but I also would absolutely love teaming up with you guys to just represent the podcast for like a few battles,
Yeah, that's fair. Vile.
So I would definitely prefer the team format. I do not do as well at things where I have to hold myself accountable. I do better when I feel I am accountable to others. And there is no time in which you are more accountable to others than when you are working with them as a team.
Interesting. That's
I don't hate the thought process behind that. That makes sense.
It does. What about you, Martine?
I would prefer the team just because I feel like there's a lot more strategy when it comes to being like in a team than like it is
Yeah,
solo.
yeah.
So, and I'm a big like strategy person. Like I like strategic games and like the theory crafting on stuff. So that's kind of where like I'm at, is that sure you can know like, oh, this blader has this Beyblade, and you know, like if it's a set Beyblade, sure, but like during the tournament, were people switching bays too as you go?
Mm-hmm.
Because then it's like more of like a guessing game, like, oh, what do we think they're gonna do? Like, what bays are they using? What bays do we know they're accustomed to? So then it kind of like, like winning those kind of team-based games, like it feels more rewarding because it's like your three heads going against their three heads, like thinking like, oh, what bays are they gonna use? And like, you know.
Yeah.
As Martine indicated, there's actually another strategic level to it, and it's even beyond, like what he's talking about is 100% correct,
Mhm.
but it even extends beyond that. Like, right, like let's say right now everyone could justify putting a wizard rod 160 hexa, let's just say, in their deck, right?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and if that's what you're gonna do when you're playing by yourself, that's kind of the end of it. But in a team-based format, if you've decided, hey, we're definitely bringing Wizard Rod 160 Hexa, that's okay. It's still the same basic decision, but the strategy that kind of Martine is alluding to comes into in the sense, who's going to run that bay and why are they going to run that bay?
Right,
Like,
and then that
like
that determines like,
which of the three team members is going to play best with that bay, and why is that the case?
Yeah, absolutely. Are we gonna give the least experienced person the most stamina, or are we gonna give him? Yeah, absolutely. But for my answer, I personally like overall. I like the team battle. I like the difference of it. The strategy behind it of trying to figure out who they're going to send in first, and then kind of play from there, and who's going to play second once he gets eliminated and everything else like that. But I also did not really care for, you have to really rely on and truly trust your teammates.
Yeah.
So that's why I didn't really care for the randomized team
it's
battles.
definitely harder with random teammates because
Yeah.
Yeah.
But even
it's like you don't have a lot
actually
of
got a great
time to like.
example of
yeah, even with just a normal 3v3 team, you still have to have some kind of trust in your teammates. So if they are going against a Silver Wolf or a Wizard Rod, are they going to be able to clutch it up? Compared to if it's just yourself, you kind of just have to trust in your own ability to win. Like, so I'm kind of going to go with the solo for my answer. Just so I don't have to really put a lot of trust into my teammates. And if we end up losing, whose fault actually was it? Was it the second person that should have ran this a little bit different, or versus me, hey, I could have adjusted my plays a little bit and then adjust myself.
Yeah. I also have another great example, a really good example that happened at the tournament of why the team battles can be good, but also one of the biggest weaknesses. My friend AJ managed to make it to the finals, but he didn't get to spin a bay at all until like the top fours happened, and the only reason he got to play was because he was the last resort and they lost.
Oh.
But he was carried by I think it was Hunty, and who was the other person?
Oh God, I don't remember, to be honest
Yeah,
with you.
I don't remember either.
Yeah, well, whoever his teammates were, they absolutely carried him throughout the entire event, and he didn't hate that, but at the same time, you can understand how for some people that could be very irritating, where it's like,
Yeah.
I didn't even get to play, and I somehow made it to the finals. That kind of sucks.
So were they like always just like, oh, we're gonna go like this is gonna be the constant order, like we're gonna go first, he'll go last, kind of,
That's probably
It was kind of the order was the same person always went first, the same person always went second, and then he was their clincher. He was the last resort should the other two fail, I guess.
so they were just like, okay, we're just gonna always stick to that. Seems kind of like, okay, like there was no change in the player order, but then would they
Exactly.
switch their Beyblades at all, or
No, not not at all.
So this
that just
strikes me.
that seems
Go ahead,
like they kind of like took him out and be like, okay, well, we won't give him a chance to go first, and then we'll just carry, kind of. So like they took, but again, at the same time, it's like they didn't acknowledge that maybe if we just win, he won't be playing too. That's kind of selfish.
Yeah, and that's my biggest problem with the team ones is obviously it's a rule that can be implemented where the order of teammates is also randomized, but
ooh.
during this one we didn't have that. And so another great example is my team, for example, up until like the up until the halfway point, I was point guard. They wanted me to be like the lead every time because of my Wizard Rod 760 Hexa combo.
Uh-huh.
But of course, I realized that I wasn't giving the or even though they agreed on having me go first, I was still like, hey, you guys aren't getting an actual chance to play, and I don't like that. So I'm going to let you guys, you know, take point on a couple of the next two battles as well, so that way we all get a chance to play.
And that's fair.
And not everyone does that, unfortunately.
Yeah, my team was
Well-
exactly the same as yours, Chad.
I think the problem with this is like, listen, I think if you are playing with a constructed team of your choice and top rankings have prizes on the line, I think this would be a non-issue because everyone will want to win and get their prizes, right?
Yeah.
However, what we had was I think we had players taking a very competitive mindset into what was supposed to be a random casual fun event.
Exactly.
And I think that was where the issue comes in here.
I totally agree, but it does show some of the issues with the actual way that if we're to do this in the future, things that we need to address and possibly implement rules on. And obviously, it's talking about implementing rules and stuff. We have to talk about the fact that after the pizza break, right before rounds 3 and 4, we had to take a vote whether we wanted to ban Wizard Rod from the tournament because a couple people were getting very, very ornery about the fact that Wizard Rod was showing up in every team.
Yeah, but in that same aspect, people have brought up if Wizard Rod was going to be banned in that tournament, everyone would have ran Silverwolf. So it's kind of
That-
just that
I
double-edged
was one
sword
of
in a
those
way.
people,
Yeah.
I
So
feel
which
like
is very fair.
yeah,
That's the thing is like we don't have enough meta combos to be like, oh, we have to remove this because, well, even if you like, let's say we remove Wizard Rod, okay, people are now guaranteed to run Silverwolf or Cobalt Dragoon. You get rid of those, they'll just go with the meta, or they'll just put an attack combo like Phoenix on a stamina bit.
Yeah.
Like
I
there is
think
no real answer to stamina Beyblades right now, aside from
And-
Shark Scale, which is starting to put in work.
and I
the
start to
silliest
wonder,
ever.
you know, how much of this is truly a Silver Wolf or Wizard Rod or even like you said, next guy in line after those two issue, and how much of the issue is maybe that the TT Stadium is just a little too big or it's a little too unlikely for Bays to get knocked out into the pockets or whatever, like because
That's
there
a
seems to
fair point, actually.
like we seem to be at the point now where it's like, first off, no one wants to watch Wizard Rod v Wizard Rod. No one wants to watch Silver Wolf v Wizard Rod, anything like that. That's boring. That
Yeah.
sucks. And especially at a casual fun event, that sucks. Like,
it was.
but then like what we have to start asking ourselves is like, everyone just defaulted to the TT Stadium because the Hasbro Stadium, it's not the best objectively, okay? Like, I think everyone kind of agrees on that. But maybe the
Yeah.
TT Stadium isn't exactly the answer either, because I don't think there's a way, without just banning any stamina type that's even sort of decent, to change the way that the meta works right now.
Yeah,
Exactly.
or even if you're doing like a casual tournament, what if like we switch to like the free for all Beyblade Stadium, where it was like the purple one, the bigger purple one. If
Is that
we
like
got
the
people that got that,
The 3-person
where
one?
it's like the 3-person one. Yeah.
Oh my god.
What if we did that?
Ooh. That might be too big. But actually, I was talking to AJ about this, and unironically, I think the stadium that I've been like dogging on the most might be the fix, because the Infinite Rail Stadium makes attack types go on that X rail so often that it's hard for a stamina Beyblade to like do what it does, being like near the center of the stadium, when you've got an attack bay constantly hitting the X rail and constantly going into the center like that.
I am curious.
So
I know people have been dogging on that new stadium that's coming out, but I'm really curious to see how it plays. Like, I was excited for the Drop Attack Stadium. Obviously, that didn't turn out great, but I'm curious to see how this Infinity Stadium
Drop
goes.
Attack is terrible, but what we need, just like in any Beyblade series, is we need something. We need something that gives the edge to the attack types. Because I'm as someone who has been in the Beyblade scene for a very long time, I will be the first to admit stamina stamina bays have been the problem in almost every single format,
Mhm.
whether it's Metal Fight or Burst or now with X. If it's a stamina combo and it's built properly, it's not going to lose to many Beyblades. That's just kind of how it is, because if the attack doesn't hit it out of the stadium, the stamina wins. If the defense doesn't hit it out of the stadium, the stamina wins. It's one of those things where they just need to design like a good attack Beyblade with proper stamina, like a destabilization combo that is built to deal with stamina type Beyblades that can really put the hurt on Wizard Rods and Silver Wolves and Cobolts and all those other type of Beyblades. And again, Shark Scale's doing a really good job of that right now.
Oh yeah, it is.
But now we've got Pegasus Blast, which is like the CX version, and that one's even heavier than the others while still having good stamina. And it's like they keep unironically making like really, really good like stamina forward combos, and again, it's just a problem Beyblade has in general. Is the game favors stamina, because if you can dodge attack types, you're guaranteed to win. If you can outspin a defense type, you're guaranteed to win.
And I think one of the biggest problems is like the objective way to fix this, I think, and maybe it's not objective. My personal viewpoint on how to fix this is Wizard Rod and Silver Wolf and similar, they just need to be able to be pocketed more. How do we accomplish that? Is Wizard Rod just too heavy? Did it need to be a few grams lighter? Like, there's nothing wrong with stamina types in the sense that I want that to be a part of Beyblade, but Wizard Rod just sits in the middle, and it's very hard to pocket a Wizard Rod player who has a good launch technique. Like, I don't know what else to say about it.
Yeah, it's very true. Someone said, personally, I think the game is super healthy and nothing needs to be banned.
That's what I'm saying. Is if anything, TT just needs to keep coming out with more attack bays. We need more Shark Scales. We need more like really good like pressure bays is what I'm going to start calling them. Like things that can pressure stamina types into losing their stamina, whether it be through pocket, destabilization, spin stealing. We need something that pressures the stamina bays, because you're going to be less likely to run a stamina bay if you know people are leaning towards the thing that counters stamina.
Actually, a super easy fix for this, and I don't know how I just thought of this, might just be they probably just need to release a few more left spin bays.
That too.
They got 3.
And two of them, the Drago and Drago variant, those are both just hot steaming. You know what? So
Garbage.
Here's what X Beyblade really needs, and anyone who knows Metal Fight will understand this wholeheartedly. We need a Medio El Drago style Beyblade. We need a left spinning Beyblade with rubber on the contact points. That is how you solve stamina, because how are you going to stamina against a Beyblade that is built to spin steel? Like, more so than Cobalt. Like, Cobalt's already, like, a decent problem, but, like, with rubber on it, it's there is no competition. Like, rubber is the spin steel king, and that's why me and quite a few other people got rather disappointed that Impact Drake was a right spin blade, because on left spin, that thing's taking out every single meta combo that tries to use stamina.
So someone suggested we need something that outspins Rod while being lighter and worse at defense.
Which they could do. That is very much a
Yeah.
possibility.
I mean, yeah, I mean that's kind of literally along the lines of what I just said. Like,
Yeah.
maybe if Rod was just a few grams lighter, he wouldn't be such a big issue, you know. And maybe if they created stamina bays that could out stamina Rod, but were also a little bit weaker to attack type, like maybe that balanced itself out, right? I think just more options,
Yes.
And the problem is that so many of the new bays are just like they're just objectively not good. And I understand it's just like trading cards. Not every card in every set's going to be a hitter. Like, it's just what it is. But, like, was anyone really asking for, like, Shelter Drake? Like, how did they design such an objectively bad Beyblade?
Right? Yeah.
You know, and also it doesn't help when it's like, hey, we've got a stamina problem in Beyblade. Can you guys make a new Beyblade? I hear you guys want retools of Wizard Arrow, so here's 2 more Wizard Arrows. That's not what we're looking for. We need something new and different.
And like maybe like I know that Hasbro loves to do these echoes, and I actually I think the license stuff, and I think we talked about this previously. I think the licensing stuff is great. I think anything like Marvel or Jurassic Park or Transformers, any popular property like that that brings more people to the game because they're like, oh, I can play as Venom and Beyblade. That's so cool. Like, that's dope. But maybe some of these echoes could not always be like total crap. Like, maybe we
Yeah.
could get a Wizard Arrow Echo that actually weighs a couple grams more than the original Wizard Arrow. Like, that would be cool, you know? Or like just things that like are like the echoes are just so bad.
Yeah. I mean, they're really pretty looking. Do not get me wrong on that. Like,
Oh,
with
exactly. There's a reason I have the Darth Vader one to this day, and I keep it now in that new box that I got, thanks to Cake Eater here, actually.
hey, that's what's up. Yeah, like the Bumblebee and the Shockwave. Like, those designs
Yeah,
are
I
just
have those.
sharp.
They're amazing. I mean, I have them like I got them on Friday. They came in and they look great.
Yeah,
Um,
they're gorgeous looking, but like you said, they're nothing to really bat an eye at. They're just really bullshit reprints. But yeah, like someone said, doesn't something just replaces Ride, then people are going to start complaining about that as well. It's just going to become a cycle, which is very true. It's just just meta stuff. Same thing with
People
TC.
will always complain about the meta.
Yep.
And, like, I love Sam. He's a good guy, but it's like every time I go to an event that he's at, he's always complaining about Wizard Rod being there. And it's like, well, run the stuff that counters it then. That's all you got to do.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
agree with you. I agree with you, Chad, but I also think that forces people into a very boring like meta or anti-meta standpoint. Either you run the meta or you run the anti-meta, and those are the only two options. And in a game that's supposed to be so diverse as Beyblade, where you have thousands of different part combinations, being like, well, I guess I either run tons of stamina types or the only things that happen to counter those, like that's not a healthy spot for a game to be in. When Magic the Gathering has that happen, you either run Affinity or you run the counter to Affinity. That is not a good gameplay balance. It isn't.
No, but unfortunately, when it comes to Beyblade, this is how Beyblade has been for the longest time. I mean, look at Metal Fight, which was like That had what 4 seasons of Beyblades, and at tournaments you're guaranteed to see the same 10
That
over and over again.
that's literally any competitive thing. Like like I was really into Yu-Gi-Oh, and no matter what kind of like tournament that I went to, like locals, regionals, or anything else like that, majority of the people are running meta because it's good.
Yeah. Another great example actually is Yu-Gi-Oh, because like there's so many wonderfully odd and cool Yu-Gi-Oh decks, but right now everyone at locals are running the same 3 decks. There is literally nothing. You'll get that one person who's like, I don't want to be like the rest of these meta sheep. I'm going to run something cool and different. But anyone that's there to win is running the same stuff over and over, and it's just anytime there's a meta, there's going to be people who flock to it and will do nothing but either run that or the anti-meta because they want to win. That's
Yep.
unfortunately just how it goes with a lot of these things is people's desires to win are so great that they are blinded to the possibilities and fun stuff that they could try in order to just hyper focus on the things that they know are going to get them wins.
Yeah.
And I understand that, and especially when there's rankings or especially prizing, when you pay an entry fee and there's
Exactly.
prizing on the line, like you want to win the prizes, like that's why you're playing, right? So I get that. I think I just feel, and this is probably the last thing I will personally say about the meta because we have talked about this for a little bit now. If
That's
the
fair.
meta wasn't, if the meta was attack types were dominant, I feel like, yes, some people would complain, but at the very least, the matches would be exciting.
No, you are 100% right on that. That I as someone who runs a very stamina heavy deck, it is boring. Does it work? Yes,
Yes.
but is it boring as hell? Yes. And
Especially,
that's why during the last get together, I bought Elevate so I could get Cobalt Dragoon on Elevate. And now my thought process is instead of running a stamina heavy deck, I'm going to run an attack deck with stamina focus. So, for instance, I'm going to once again use Hover Wyvern on Hexa. As you guys saw, when it works really good. And then I'm thinking of even putting Tyranno Beat on Kick in my deck, so that way I have some like Beyblades with some stamina, but they also know how to hit like a truck, you know?
yeah, just kick overall is just a really good. But kind of leading
It's
into
so fun to use.
yeah, someone thinks that we're actually in a attack dominated meta right now.
No, I'm going to have to disagree with that.
Yeah,
It is still very stamina heavy, but Shark is thankfully tipping the scales back towards attack. And this can actually lead us into the next topic is Soul Eclipse is looking to be a very, very fun attack-oriented Beyblade.
yeah, I've seen a couple
Now-
videos and it's really interesting, Bay. That's really for sure.
Now, for viewers who aren't aware of this quite yet, is it confirmed that there are players who have Soul Eclipse in their hands right now and are doing videos on them? Is
Yes.
that something that's happening? Okay.
Yes.
It's kind of crazy that they were just probably like the first to pre-order it, like as soon as it was available.
It's mostly the Japanese audience that has gotten their hands on it from what I've seen,
I think
or
I see-
people close to Japan.
Yeah, I think I've seen one American, at least a video that I saw earlier on TikTok, but doesn't mean that he's not in America, but I don't know exactly where he's from, but I
Probably just knows people in Europe.
Yeah.
Like
somewhere.
Well, I mean, we know that Europe, Australia, and even Canada gets Hasbro releases long before us normally. So I assume it's the same thing with TT. There's probably different regions of Asia that get things sooner than others.
Yeah, that could be.
Yeah,
Because I mean, I think we're finally starting to see like Red Hulk and Captain America here on U.S. shores. Finally,
Yes.
it's been on Amazon dot whatever other country for like a while now. You know, like. But
Yeah.
Soul Eclipse, guys, like, what are you guys thinking about this? Like, because I have 4 of them on pre-order right now. 2 for me, 1 for a buddy of mine, and just 1 extra one because Suragaya, or whatever you call it, was having a 25% off and then free shipping on top of that sale. So I just ordered 4 of them real quick.
Jesus.
I will happily find a way to pay you for that last 4th one because what I've seen has made me absolutely giddy. Because from the looks of it, not only is most of the Beyblade like reversible in that you can like flip stuff around, the promotional pictures that people have been showing off of their Beyblade shows that the actual metal of the Beyblade itself you can also flip, which if that is true, oh, that is going to change so much.
Yeah, what is it like? How many different bays all in one bay? Like 4 different bays or something like that?
Yes, and people are already talking about how this may actually be the death of stamina if it hits as hard as people are saying it does, which I wouldn't go that far, but it has some amazing, amazing contact points on it.
Doesn't it weigh a good amount too?
Ooh.
It is up there in terms of some of the heaviest X releases. Like I think it
Like,
almost
It's
rivals
almost heavy as
Scorpion.
Aero Pegasus, no?
Yes, it is also almost as heavy as Aero Pegasus.
Damn.
No, is this a CX bay? Does this have an assist blade?
Yes.
So you're telling me it's already one of the heaviest bays, and someone could hypothetically put the Valkyrie Volt lock chip in? Well,
Yes.
Exactly. That
That's
is what
nuts.
people have already been saying is I've already seen a bunch of people going, well, I know what I'm throwing my Valkyrie chip on.
I mean, to be fair, if my Valkyrie chip wasn't in customs still after a week, thanks to UPS, God, it's possible that my solar eclipses might get here before my package gets released from customs. It's nuts. I had something from Suragaya ship on Tuesday of last week. It arrived on Friday. It got here in 3 days through DHL. UPS, on the other hand, they are screwing the pooch right now. Let's just put it that way.
Oh my god.
Hey, listen. Here in America, if there's one thing we know for certain, it's UPS will always find a way to screw up our orders.
So is
Yeah.
it like there's only a couple things guaranteed in life? It's life, death, and taxes, and also UPS messing up on orders.
Yeah.
I was able to get the wait, you're saying USPS got it in custom or UPS got it in custom?
UPS, United Postal
UPS.
Service.
Oh, not USPS?
No,
No,
USPS is fine.
tends to be better.
USPS, bro, is goated. I got my order for my shark scale deck in like seven days.
Ooh, I
The
still
pro-
need to
the
get.
pro-
I still need to get
the
that.
That is the other thing that I'm looking forward to is Shark Scale becoming more widely available. Obviously, if I can get my hands on just the Beyblade itself, I'll do it. But
the
can
problem.
we just all talk about how just beautiful the shark line?
You're a shark.
True.
No,
I'm definitely gonna do a all at some point. Do a all only Mako Maiden bays.
Oh my god.
Like
I think
that'd be fun.
Martine, I think you're right real quick. I think USPS is pretty good. The problem is that USPS, if a package comes through USPS here stateside, it had to come from the originating countries like their postal service. And a lot of postal services have shut off shipping to the US right now because of these tariffs. So
Yeah.
so like right now, like Zen Market, they won't even ship something to me via like Japan Post. I can only choose from DHL, FedEx, UPS, or I guess there's one other one, but my package weighed too much for that one. So I think it's ECMS is the other one. But like they can't ship things to us via Japan Post right now because Japan Post just isn't shipping to America right this second.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, they had to open my package and put all the bays inside without the box so it would weigh less too. So, I mean, unless you're looking to try to get like sealed stuff, that would make sense why it would cost more, but I would just like if you could like when I go through Bai, you could kind of message the person selling it, and you could just be like, "Hey, I mean, if you need to open the box, and then just send me the parts so that at least it'll weigh less, you know?"
That's
Yeah, I mean
fair.
that's true. And even if the idea was to get the code, they can clip off the QR code and put it in there. You know, it's not hard.
Yeah, it's
Like,
not that hard.
But sorry about that, by the way. For whatever reason, my Discord today has been mucking around, so it keeps like kicking me out of the call and then bringing me immediately back in.
No, you're
yeah, I
good.
noticed that, but it's all good. So guys, Soul Eclipse, like who's excited for it?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's gonna be something.
We'll see. We'll see how it does. I feel like it wouldn't be on any of my top like must buys unless you really like it. But I feel like I'm just gonna be running the Shark, and I'm gonna be running Arrow Pegasus and Wizard Rod unless I can get that new CX Whale Blade. And then I'd probably just do that with the Shark, which would be fun.
The CX Whale Blade. You mean the
Or
the
I'm looking at it
the,
right now.
the one in the random booster?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't really messed around with that. I have it, but I haven't really played with it at all. I think it's probably still unplayed right now.
Feel like there's a lot of room for discovery, and people are just like still kind of sticking to the meta.
Well, that's fair. Guys, speaking of new releases, I don't actually know its proper name. I've been calling it Clock Tower. What's everyone think about this new random booster with the 3 different clock towers in it, but they all have the same parts?
Dude,
That's a little strange.
that's gonna hit. I
think
That
it's gonna
might
be
be yeah, that might be better than the Eclipse, I feel like. But we'll see, because they haven't been really doing good on like the is it like a X Overbay or something, or it's like a remake, a homage of an older Bay, right?
Yeah.
I think people have said it's a combination kind of 2 different metal fight bays is what I've heard.
Clock chime.
Yeah, well, that's one of them, and then there's some other one too that apparently added some design elements to this new one. But the big controversy about this, and I'm sure you guys have heard about this, and I assume most of the viewers, if they're kind of tuned into the scene, is that you can only use the 5 series ratchets on it. So I believe it's coming with a new 5 series ratchet. Maybe it's 65. Don't quote me on that. But I think there's only a total of 4 ratchets you're going to be able to use on this bay.
Clock Mirage looks light to me, but who knows?
But what do you guys think about that? Because this is the first time we're being told by Takara Tomy that you have limited options. Like you can only use 4 ratchets on this bay. Do you guys like that or dislike that?
It looks like it comes with 965 ball.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. The only ratchets you can use are the 5 series. So like 85, and then I think there's like 2 other ones. There's 65, 85.
Okay, that's what you meant by 5. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, the 5 series. That's
I
just what I
think
call it.
you're just gonna play it with the stock 65 ratchet, because it's not. No one wants to make tall Beyblades. It's not good to make tall Beyblades, especially with like the bits that we have that, like you can't. Tall Beyblades aren't gonna work in an attack heavy meta.
No.
Or even in a stamina meta, like that thing's just gonna burst. So you probably want it just on the shortest thing possible. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised that if eventually they came out with like a 45, maybe like a 40, but specifically it'd be a 45,
Man, that'd
and
be
have it to be a
tiny.
really short. Yeah.
So listen, it's very possible that immediately upon release you will just use it on the 65. I don't think you're necessarily wrong when you say that. Of ratchets on this bay. Do you guys think that's a good or a bad thing for the game?
I don't like it. It kind of just limits everyone's creativity, which is the number one, or at least a really top thing that I do like about this game. Yeah, you do have the metas, like the 360, the 960 Ball, Hexa on Wizard. Those are always going to be metas. Silverwolf has its own builds. Obviously, you can do whatever the hell you want with your own bits and parts and everything, but if you're kind of only limiting, especially only giving like the 5 series to a certain bay, it's good looking, don't get me wrong, but it definitely limits everyone's creativity. So I don't think anyone's really going to be playing with it.
So one of the speculations that's been out there online is that the 5 series we know just they don't stay in quite as well as some of the regular ratchets do. They're a little easier to burst. And so some of the speculation has been that TT knew it was going to be a powerful bay, and they were trying to balance that and not create essentially another wizard rod type of issue by limiting the ratchets. And if that's the case, like, I sort of understand their logic, but it doesn't mean I love it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I 100% get
feel
it.
like
Oh yes.
I feel like it's not going to like impact gameplay wise because it's still like a 60 height ratchet unless they make like a shorter height ratchet. But depending how they go forward with that, because I mean Twisted Tempo was one of like the most broken Beyblades, right? Like almost like
I heard that.
What?
Even-
It still is.
So if they're just making something like they're making something better than Wizard Rod, so that Wizard Rod get phased out, but maybe it's weaker to like ratchet sniping, that would make a lot more sense.
It's possible.
Yeah.
I feel that is kind of the direction they went with it, at least.
But I mean, if not, then we might just be seeing Twisted Tempo Wizard Rod.
All across the board.
That would be interesting. Now, Martine, you had said that you had seen earlier, because we're talking about new bays right now, that that popular YouTuber Kai, is that his name?
Yeah, Kai
Do I have that
Cenat.
right? Yeah, had gotten some brand new Beyblade in the mail. Can you tell us more about like that? Is that like what's going on with that?
I'm trying to let me see, because I was just like watching a video. So apparently they had like a pop-up tournament.
Yeah, that
I
was,
should have had this pulled up. They had a
Atlanta?
pop-up tournament no, it wasn't in Atlanta. Let me see if
I
I
do
can
know-
find it.
I do know about the Atlanta thing, though. I actually just watched a video on that. I'd heard about that as
Yeah,
well.
like Left Spin
So
kind of did a thing on that.
Do you guys follow like the official Beyblade X account on like Instagram?
No,
they
I literally just reinstalled Instagram after not using it for years, so I could click like reactions
Feel that.
on Sam's new Instagram account for the Minnesota scene.
Oh, so you
But
literally
otherwise-
just re-downloaded it.
they just had it like a couple days ago on their Instagram account, and then they were like showing it. I'm trying to see, and I know I saw it on Twitter. So give me a little bit of time to find it.
Okay, so while Martine's doing that, are there any other? I mean, have we talked about the Infinity Stadium much? Are people like? I know we mentioned it briefly earlier, but like, who has one on pre-order already? Like, who's sold on it? And maybe not even the stadium, but that red Cobalt Drake is absolutely
No.
gorgeous.
I don't have it pre-ordered, but I want
Absolutely
to.
gorgeous.
I found the clip if you want to pull it up. It looks like it's a Dran sword custom.
So he got his own custom drain sword.
Nothing too exciting then.
I know. Well, obviously,
I
just
want
a
a
draw.
custom Beyblade. Where do I sign up for that?
Yeah, shit. Give me my
Well.
own Shadow Shinobi.
Well, the thing is that a lot of people started doing early on with Beyblade X and then kind of forgot is a thing you can totally do is you can technically make and print your own like chips to go into the Beyblade chip slot.
Yeah, my partner for
Like,
this past tournament, he ordered, or at least has a lot of them that just got him right through Etsy.
I mean, I showed in the Beyblade server like yesterday. Like my Cobalt Dragoon has a Blue Eyes chip inside of it.
Oh, that's wild.
It was
Oh, yeah.
it was just for him. So okay.
There are
That's pretty
as
cool.
as long as you know how to print, you can pretty much print off your own. Obviously the sticker is the easy, or you can do a piece of paper, but stickers are a little bit easier as you know, they'll stay in place, especially if you're doing the Hasbro ones. You definitely want stickers, but
Yeah.
yeah, just any company that can print custom stickers or custom decals like that, you can totally just do it that way and customize your Beyblades that way.
Interesting.
I know some
Yeah.
people have been painting Beyblades, but I have heard from a reliable source, and I won't name names, but somebody who works closely with the WBO in our local scene, that they are going to be changing the rules on what is allowed to be painted on a Beyblade in the near future.
At least,
enough.
yeah, I might be talking about the same person that you might. We can talk about that later on because I didn't know that was just kind of a DL kind of thing. But yeah, he also informed me yesterday during our little meetup and everything because someone wanted to go and buy because we were at a hobby shop. He wanted to go out buy like acrylic paints and everything and paint his own bays, kind of make them cool. And I thought I read that the WBO actually banned all of that.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Yeah. But I guess it's not like certain parts you can, but I think a lot of that is going away.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what essentially what's happening. I think is that right now the WBO has what I describe as like pretty liberal like rulings on like what can be painted. Like a lot of things can be painted right now, but I think that's going to change in the near future.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess for anyone who's listening and is thinking about painting their bays right this second, maybe wait until those new rules are released to make sure that you're not doing anything that's going to invalidate your bay for tournament play.
Yeah, because a lot of tournaments,
Yeah.
You can't obviously have any broken parts or any modification. So I personally just would not. Don't waste your money on like good paints or ink or even just to damage your bays. If you want to do it when you play against your friends, totally different. You do you. You become the next Bob Ross. But when it comes
The
to
next Bob Ross.
but when it comes to tournament play or anything else like that, don't do it.
I'd say the most modification you should do it to a Beyblade if you want to keep it tournament legal is what I was talking about, like
just the chips.
Because the paper or sticker is not going to add any significant weight whatsoever, and all it'll do is change a portion of the Beyblade that doesn't come into contact with anything.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's a very safe option. I mean, I've seen shops on Etsy and also eBay that have plenty of different custom stickers. I saw somebody who had a Goku sticker on their Beyblade recently at an event. That was pretty cool. Yeah. But I've also just seen like recolors. Like there's this one sheet from this one seller that's like 7 different colors of the Cobalt Dragoon emblem.
Oh, that's cool.
Like
that's cool.
Yeah, just stuff like that. It's neat and it's not crazy. It's not like tacky or like wild. It's just cool. And then new Beyblades, guys. Since we have been talking about that, I know these aren't new worldwide, but they are kind of newer to us. For anyone who has ever considered ordering from Entertainment Earth but wasn't sure if they were legit or not, I can tell you they are legitimate because today I just received in the mail my 25th anniversary collection.
Oh, nice.
So I'm pretty excited about that. I don't even know if I'm going to open it. It might just be a display piece. But I'm pretty stoked because I had pre-ordered that like a few months back when they had first put it on pre-order, and I just like, is this ever going to come? Like, do I need to be worried about this? But I got a notification last week it had shipped, and today it arrived, and I actually just opened it while I was talking a few minutes ago, and it is exactly what they said it is. So I'm pretty excited.
Very cool.
So I guess for anyone who's been looking for the 25th anniversary set here in America and isn't trying to go through Buy or Zen Market or whatever, they are starting to be shipped now. So if you've already ordered one, my guess is you'll get it soon. And if you haven't ordered one yet, well, you can now, and they'll be here pretty quick, I would assume.
All right. So yeah, honestly, I think we can kind of start wrapping it up from there. We've been going for about an hour and a half already, which is wild.
Wow.
You're telling me.
Beyblades.
Bay wheels.
There's always so much going on. There's always so much
Not
going
even-
on with Beyblade.
Not even
Yes.
to mention that we were talking an hour before this, where we were just chilling. Like,
Yeah, just a Jesus.
Hey,
Yeah.
that just means we vibed very well together, which is exactly what you want for a podcast
Oh,
team.
absolutely. All right, so I unfortunately did not get to talk about that, but we could talk about like tournaments and everything else like that, like regionals and other stuff like that on the next podcast. Which is totally fine. So, coming up events over in the Minnesota area. We have one this coming Sunday. It is at the Level X, which is like downtown Minneapolis area. Unfortunately, that is all full. That is, next Sunday, the 28th. That is all capped out right now. So if you would like to still do that, still show up. People drop, people don't show up. Who knows? And it's also just a fun time. Also,
It is.
yeah, like any tournaments are just a great time overall. Even if you can't participate, still go, still watch, still hang out, play test. This is just a great hobby overall. So just get out there, participate, have fun. But we do have...
Quit spending money on Yu-Gi-Oh! And Magic and spend it on Beyblade.
Honestly, that's
Your
fair.
wallet will thank you.
For the most part.
so did you guys sign up for that tournament or no?
Oh, no.
No, I have to work on Sunday, so I did not sign up for it.
Okay.
And also, in my case, Minneapolis is just a little too far out of the way.
And that's fair. But we do...
Hold on a second, Chad. You were just at a tournament in Minneapolis.
Yeah, and I had a ride there.
I was going to say, I swear Acuna's last tournament was not only in Minneapolis, but even at the Minneapolis Library, which is very specific as to where it's located, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I had a ride there. I wouldn't have a ride for this tournament, and I already saw how much it would cost me to get there, and I'm not about to drop $50 to go play Beyblades.
What do you mean $50?
No, I mean that's silly. You just take that $50 and buy a few new Beyblades. Like,
Exactly.
Hold on,
go take that 50 and go buy yourself the Shark Scale deck set, yeah?
Wait, what the hell?
Like-
Wait, what's $50?
Getting an
Still?
Uber or Lyft there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like an Uber and there, an Uber back, the entry fee, like it's
Yeah.
Okay.
it gets
thought you meant...
expensive,
Yeah,
and it does.
I thought you meant like the
Yeah.
admission fee. Like, I'm looking at it, and it's literally a free
Yeah,
event.
the admission fee is totally $50.
Listen, if they had a tournament with a $50 entry fee, that prizing better be just dope. I mean,
Oh,
like,
The,
I
the
don't
prize
know.
yeah.
for a $50 entry fee better either be a Maserati or a Bugatti.
Oh my god, this guy
I
right here.
woke up in a new Bugatti.
Oh my
No.
god.
There you go. You can be singing
What
that,
if-
Chad.
No.
What
Anyway.
are your thoughts? I
Uh,
got an idea for another topic, but what if we started doing prize pool tournaments where if we like $10 to enter and then winner got a percentage of the prize pool?
ooh.
Oh, like cash prize pools. I
Like
wouldn't be
cash prize
opposed to that.
pools.
Hmm.
I feel like that would make it more competitive, but then again,
There's
it
probably
just goes.
my thinking. There might be a ruling with the WBO that's totally against all of that. I could be totally wrong. So Acuna or Wayward or anyone else up in chat, let us know on that before the end of the podcast. But
So I real quick, I can say something about that. I think it was Acuna that I was talking to, and I don't think there's anything in WBO that disallows that necessarily. What I have heard, and again, I don't know the legalese of all of it, so don't quote me on this, but I've heard that there are concerns that it may be looked at as some type of gambling.
yes,
And
and
that
that's where
may
my
that
head
may
is at.
violate certain state laws. But at the same time, I have seen Magic the Gathering tournaments that have cash prizes, so I don't know for sure. Like there's got to be a reason. Maybe we just don't know exactly what it is.
Yeah,
Uh,
definitely something to look into. Maybe we could bring it back up again on the next podcast.
Yeah, when
Well,
we
yeah,
have an actual answer.
And the reasoning could be as simple as that no one has a perfect understanding of if that would cause problems or not, and it just needs
Yeah.
to be looked into more.
Okay, but anyway, we have October 18th, which is going to be downtown Minneapolis at the library. Hold on, I gotta pull that up real quick. We do not do it because people stated they prefer prizes over cash.
Interesting.
That honestly,
Maybe something to look at in the future once we get a more steady flow of people wanting to participate, and not what happens with some of these tournaments where you have like someone show up for like a single tournament and then they vanish into the ether, never to be seen again.
Right.
That happens
right.
a lot more often than people would think, actually.
Exactly.
Yep. So we have October 18th, which is downtown Minneapolis at the library. Starting time for that is at 11 o'clock. Signups are not available just yet. So hopefully.
Do we know what the player cap is going to be?
That one I do not know. That is a Acuna event. So I'm guessing probably somewhere 40 if I'm just taking a shot, because that's normally what the libraries are, if I'm not mistaken. I could be totally wrong.
I think last time it was 30, but still.
They're somewhere around that.
Yeah, if we could get the bigger room, probably there'll be a higher cap. But I think that's why they were worried about the cap being small, because you can't get a lot of people.
Yeah. And then also we have October 25th, which is going to be that limited event tournament that we were just talking about earlier. That is going to be starting at 2 p.m. No signups
And is
for
that
that.
at Kraken Hits?
That one will be at Kraken Hits, yes.
Woohoo!
Yep.
Kraken, we love you.
Yeah, October 18th will be downtown at 11 o'clock. And then October 25th will be a limited tournament at Kraken Hits starting at 2 p.m. in Findlay, Minnesota. So
Are those the only two events in October?
I talked to Acuna
now.
and I talked to I talked to Acuna and Sam, and those are the only two events that are happening in October.
They're afraid of the winter.
That's why there are as of right now, nothing really going on in December, but we can talk more about that later on.
Fair
I was
enough.
gonna say, worst comes to worst, we could do like personal or meetups / get-togethers as well if people want to drive out to those.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yep, we will kind of cross that bridge when and if we see a Minnesota winter or not. It's gonna be interesting for sure. But other than that, I think I am all set. At least with this episode. What about you guys? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we're good.
Yeah,
We're good to cut
honestly,
it.
yeah, we could literally just keep talking, but we can't spend like 3 hours just talking about it. We got to save some material for another time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's fair enough.
So, we all appreciate all you guys for checking out the Spin Zone podcast episode 4. If you guys did like the show, please give us a like, rank this thing, share it with all your Beyblade people, and anything else would truly help out the podcast. We've been getting a lot of good feedback. People really seem to be really enjoying the podcast, which is so great to hear. We've been putting in a lot of work outside and doing a lot of digging just to kind of keep up with it. So, if you guys could help us out, share this with anyone and anything that you guys would like us to talk about, let us know. Other than that, yeah, anything else that you guys want to end off with?
Yeah. Instead of Beyblade people, we got to call them their Bay buddies.
All
Jesus.
right, buddy.
Share with your Bay buddies. There you go.
Bay pals, Bay amigos. But other than that, guys, hopefully you guys have a great rest of your day. So long, stay safe, have a great and awesome rest of your